All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've been engaged well. And when we talk about the cloud finance, the financial management, which is the latest buzzword in the cloud, just in case if you want to know more about the latest FinOps solutions, the place that I'm going to ask you to visit, please visit the Software One booth in the Experience Zone. I hope everybody is familiar with the virtual settings by now. It's just that for all those delegates, just in case you've just joined us, this is for all of you. Please engage yourselves with all the features because there are prizes, there are gifts to be won, and it all depends on the leaderboard scores. And we call it the good competition. So keep it all coming with good energies. Right now, it's time for a very special chat. As I said, we will be building a sustainable cloud strategy in a fast-paced digital world. By we, I mean your participation and of course our discussants who would be joining us. So let's kick off the chat by inviting Kasara Baladitya, the Director Services and Customer Transformation from Software One India. We'll also be joined by Sundar Viji, the Head Migrations and Specialist Product Sales, Amazon Internet Services Private Limited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to believe, and I do think, and I do have a little hunch that this chat is going to be an eye-opener. That's not at all a pressure on the discussants and the speakers, though. Allow me to hand over the session to its dutiful moderator. Let's rope in Manish Gupta, the country leader from Software One India. Manish, it's over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Manish Gupta, and I'm leading Software One business in India. As you know, Software One is a leading cloud and solution and service provider, enabling its customers in their digital journey. While I was relatively late to jump into IT industry in 2007, but was lucky enough to see the growth and the start of the cloud journey that the IT industry took. From the times of convincing our customers to install an appliance so that their burst traffic could go into the cloud, to today's scenario, where most of the customers look at cloud as their first port of call for any of the IT infrastructure that they want to build in. I think the industry has come a long way, and good part is it's still growing at a very healthy pace. As per one of the Gartner estimate, worldwide, the spending on cloud services is expected to be almost $500 billion by the end of 2022. And in India, almost $8 billion. Which is approximately 1.75% the market share for world. And that's pretty healthy is what I would say when we look at the growth of more than 30%. When we look at the market and we look at a lot of born in cloud customers coming up, where their IT processing and infrastructure are pretty much built around cloud as core. But the growth of the cloud has been also pretty phenomenal when we look at the other customers who are not so lucky to be born in cloud, but who had a lot of legacy infrastructure. They are catching up very fast. The pickup in this cloud adoption has also been fueled by the pandemic, the unfortunate event that happened in around, let's say, February, March last year, where a lot of these businesses found themselves underprepared for the business reality that await them in terms of a lot of them not being fully ready for enabling their digital selling or delivery of services, or not ready to enable their employees and the customers working from their homes, or the connectivity becoming always on everywhere. That also brought another challenge to the industry, which is the cyber threats. They became more and more common, and that meant the security has to be built in from the very beginning. When I talk to my customers today, most of them had adopted multi-cloud strategy as pretty much a consensus, but that multi-cloud strategy, as well as their own individual business situations, brings to them a multitude of challenges around technical, commercial, as well as digital aspect of the cloud. And when I look at them, some of them are simply grappling with a simple commercial challenge. How do they anticipate or appropriate the cloud spend that their organization is going to see, while more and more customers, which I thought was unthinkable at some point of time, are also looking at their database, redoing their database, and kind of looking at their 50 years old data that resides with them to monetize it simply because cloud provides them the flexibility, the scale, and do that. One way or the other, every CIO is trying to find a way to modernize, innovate, and realize the more value out of the cloud investment they have made or they're going to make. That would require a lot of investment and thought process around developing a sustainable long-term cloud strategy. And that's what we are here for today. I have two of my co-panelists, and both of them pretty dear friends. Let me just quickly give them a one-line view introduction of theirs. Baladitya, who is Director Service and Customer Transformation at SoftwareOne, and Sundar, who is a key leader at AWS India and leading the migrations as well as the worldwide service specialist organization. So welcome both of you. And if that's okay, Adi, I'll pick on you first and ask you, what are the top 3 takeaways for CIOs in relation to their cloud strategy going ahead and developing it as a way to get the competitive advantage in the marketplace? Adi, over to you.
Thanks, Munish. Hi, Sundar. Munish, cloud as a strategy is very intrinsic to the digital journey of every enterprise now. CIOs are moving their workloads not just for cost savings, as you said. They are looking to create the revenue opportunities. They are looking for getting that competitive advantage in their enterprise. Now, the 3 key takeaways, one is return on idea. The second is return on investment. And the third one is the reward on adoption. Let me elaborate. Return on idea is the amenability assessment in a digital journey. It's not about the technical viability of cloud or commercial feasibility of it. But in digital journey, it is all about what are the inefficiencies from the processes that I have that I'm taking them out. Or what are the new efficiencies that I'm adding to the enterprise? How do I make my workload audit ready and audit proud? Now, resonating to the needs of CIOs at SoftwareOne, we do value stream mapping. We identify the processes for improvement, design the blueprint to optimize and modernize, and cover the requirements for workload in achieving those objectives. The second one is return on investment. It is completely focused on the profitability objective. When I say profitability objectives, the CIOs would like to know what are the contractual obligations, what are the costs, lock-in, thresholds for any reverse migrations. Now, SoftwareOne team aligns to this need by giving a best possible match for the cloud destination, give the optimization plan upfront, and also measure the value received and perceived by the organization post-implementation. And as I said, the third one is reward and adoption, especially in a digital journey. This is something very key. And all the digital projects, the biggest change in the definition of go live is adoption and value measurement. At SoftwareOne, we have globally 60 plus Prosky certified people who work with the functional users, the IT teams, and drive this change, drive this adoption in the enterprise, enabling the CIOs to be successful in the digital journey. Sum and substance, Munish, idea, implementation, institutionalizing the change are the 3 key pillars, I think, for the digital race.
Thank you, Adi. I think I love the concept of return on idea as well as investment and reward on adoption. That's pretty much the journey I would say every customer would take. When I just want to pick out your personal experiences and understand from that what are the key factors that the CIOs need to consider while kind of starting or during their cloud strategy journey? What are the key things that they need to keep in mind?
Right, Manisha. CIO organizations are very mature to handle the strategy of cloud and digital now. In the digital world, the modern CIO organizations, the C, I, and O starts for consulting, implementation, and orchestrating the outcomes. That's how most of the CIO organizations are changing themselves, reskilling themselves, and also meeting the demands or exceeding the demands of their peer group. Now, the three key factors I think the CIO organizations are working is definitely they are walking with their peers and aligning their strategy for their digital journey of their functions. It could be finance, procurement, sales, HR. The second thing that they're doing very effectively is working with technology partners and implementation partners like SoftwareOne and making the use cases much tighter. They are demanding to give the blueprints and making it future proof. And personally, CIOs are steering these projects and getting involved with the users, the functional users, the IT super users, and trying to stabilize the change and drive the adoption. So I believe the triad of collaboration with peers, demanding more comprehensive solutions from technology partners like AWS and SoftwareOne, and driving the change management, I think that would be the recipe for a cloud strategy from my experience.
Cool, great. I love the way you articulate, and the abbreviations are all over the place in this industry. CIO becoming consulting, implementation, and orchestration. So simple to kind of remember, but I'm sure everybody is leaving it. Thank you, Adi. Let me just move on to ask Sundar what's up for the AWS side. And Sundar, AWS has been kind of what should I say, the pretty much the front runner in this journey, in starting this journey, if I may say. What's the importance of AWS partner ecosystem for AWS and its customers? And how can the customers leverage its partners in kind of setting on to their cloud journey?
Yeah. Thanks, Manish. A very important question. See, the way these services have exploded, when I joined this organization about 4 or 5 years back, we had double-digit number of services. Now we are, over 180 services. We are constantly increasing the number of services, and along with these services, all kinds of new use cases are coming to light. Things which were unthinkable till just a few years ago. The things that you can do with machine learning, the things that you can do by modernizing your applications, the things that you can do by integrating voice and video into your customer journeys, and so on. And at the same time, the security threats are also constantly on the rise because people are always trying to get ahead and hack into your systems. So the importance of the partner ecosystem cannot be understated. Customers cannot, in the main, there may be a few who can, but in the main, customers cannot navigate this exploding range of services, this exploding range of new use cases and the new security threats and so on all by themselves. Right. The partners are critical, therefore, in helping to handhold customers on this journey, because unlike in the olden days when you did a big implementation and then you could wash your hands off and say, okay, you're done, here it's a constant journey, right? You can't just say one day, fine, we are done, now we can sit back and relax. That is number one. Number two, to your point about how are partners actually helping in customers' specific cases, I think two things. One, when I look at in the last 4.5 years, the projects that I have done, partners are critical at various stages. Number one, in just to define the basic business case for a customer. Why should they adopt cloud? What is the journey? Where do we start? What do we move next? What do we move after that? And when you are having a journey, you not only are building net new capabilities, you're also migrating existing capabilities to the cloud. And in some cases, you're going to modernize those applications after taking them to the cloud or in the process of taking them to the cloud. And last but not the least, to help to manage this subsequently. So there are so many different stages at which partners are so crucial. And the way in which new services keep getting added all the time, it means that somebody has to keep going back to the customer and saying, hey, here is a new service, new use cases, which we think will be valuable to you. Can we start testing this out? So customers need an innovation engine internally. And most customers cannot set this up by themselves. So the way I see it is that our partners are like a flywheel of innovation sitting inside our customers and helping them spin that wheel faster and faster by bringing newer ideas to the table and getting them to market faster and faster. A case in point is where we worked along with you for My Team 11, which is a well-known fantasy sports league. And they were, as is the case with most of these fantasy sports, their load tends to peak every time there are new tournaments, new series, and so on. And they were not able to predict what the load is going to be, and therefore ensuring reliability of the systems and having predictable costs in their existing setup was just not going to be possible. So you helped them by taking them to the AWS cloud. And it was a fantastic project. It was completed in just 4 weeks flat. And now, because of moving to the cloud, their time to market for new capabilities has been reduced by 70%. The cost has come down by 80%. And the amount of time it used to take them to scale by adding new infrastructure, it used to be up to 6 days. Now it is literally instantaneous. So my advice to customers is think in terms of a reliable business partner who can accompany you on the entire gamut of the journey, all the way from assessment to post migration, post modernization, being with you for the entire journey.
Cool. I love the part that, so basically you're saying the partner is the person who leads and enables and handholds you through the journey. It's not a one-time installation and move on kind of.
Exactly.
Great. And quickly, Sundar, if I may ask you, what are the key challenges for the businesses to adopt this, kind of go on to this journey?
Yeah.
From your perspective.
Look, again, talking to customers in the last few years, we've seen multiple challenges, and I would divide them into a few buckets. And I think probably the biggest issue has been people readiness, because understandably, people who have been working on existing technologies for the last decade or two, they feel unprepared for such a huge transformation. So one of the biggest challenges is, how do we encourage people to look at what the future holds for them, enable them, and help them embrace that future without fear? That is, to me, probably the biggest element in the set of challenges that our customers have faced. There are also other fundamental challenges, like, for example, customers not being internally clear on why they want to move to the cloud. Somebody would say cost, somebody else would say agility, somebody else would say because we can't manage this by ourselves, somebody else wants new capabilities which are easier to access on the cloud. So it's important, therefore, to have a common set of reasons about why we want to move to cloud and what is the expected benefit from there. So having a common picture of the business case and the journey is critical to ensure that everybody is aligned. Otherwise, every group is going to want to pull in different directions.
Right.
Number three, from a technology point of view, many customers often have older technology which has not been upgraded for a while, which, if it was put on cloud as it is, could pose a security challenge. So having a thorough analysis of the application landscape to figure out what to retain as it is, where it is running, what you can just simply rehost or replatform, where you might need to tweak the underlying database or operating system to come to the latest version so that it is security safe, and where you want to refactor or modernize applications because you see a potential for competitive advantage there. Doing the thorough analysis and being clear on where to apply which of these modalities of moving to cloud, that is another critical element. And last but not the least, what we also see is that customers are increasingly thinking in terms of how they can change their cost structures, right? So one is the obvious move to pay as you go, move away from capex to opex, etc. But we also see people now challenging their long-standing contracts with a plethora of vendors to see, are there ways by which they can start to get more value from those contracts, or at least reduce the amount of funds which are allocated to these long-term contracts to free up funds for greater amount of innovation. So when building a roadmap, one of the big challenges therefore is to see how can we free up funding in order to innovate more, because as was said earlier, people are not moving to the cloud just for cost. They also want to be more agile, they want to be more innovative. Helping them to do so is a critical aspect of making them confident about this journey.
Great. I think I would love to have this discussion as long as we can, but in the interest of time, I would like to kind of summarize. I think the concept of return on idea investment is what I'm taking along, as well as reward on adoption. And what Sundar, you said, the partner helps you do that, helps you overcome that fear, as well as unravel the unknown, which you are new to the journey because of that. So I think that's what I'm taking on. And the newness of the services, the pace at which the services are evolving, means you got to have somebody who handholds you through that. So with that, I want to thank both of you and wish you all the best. And let's help our customers enjoy and reap the benefit of this journey. Thank you both of you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Manish, Sundar, and Mr. Baladitya, thank you very much for a coherent discussion therein. Thank you very, very much for all the talks and the learnings that we are taking away with. Some key perspectives, of course, as takeaways, which I'll be shortly announcing and reading out from your tweets. So keep it all coming using our official hashtag. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll also be leading you all into you all participating in a poll that's coming right up next. But before that, I will do some context setting for the panel discussion that's coming up, because my panelists, along with the moderator, they're all armed up backstage and are all set to speak to you all. For now, just letting you know that this panel discussion, as I'm sure you can check on the agenda as well if you haven't till now, this will be all about technology with purpose. And the talking points are going to revolve around, say, the cost reduction through the cloud computing, and how do we improve that security that remains so elementary to the entire purpose of the technology, right? So what's the business value? What are the benefits of the cloud platforms versus the traditional technology platforms that we did use in the past? How do we really gain that agility? How do we really be that mobile and improve those business interactions, along with, of course, accomplishing that ROI with predictive data analytics? All of that, let's hear it from the experts themselves. For now, of course, eyes on the screen for you all to participate in the poll. I'll be right back on the screen, roping in all my backstage heroes for now. See you.